How's it going? Are we live? I think we're live. Double checking. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. 1 2 1 2. Yeah, this is looking like looking like we're online. Yeah, let's go. Very good, very nice. How's it going, everybody? Mr. Holton here, and I can't see shit because I'm wearing sunglasses inside. Why am I doing that? Well, God damn it, I'm trying to read here. How you guys doing? Hey, lurking in the shadows, welcome to the Ensfin Squad. Thank you for the support and enjoy the emojis. Don't forget to go to the gym today. I forgot. I haven't actually been to the gym for like a month. I will start. I'm just waiting for all the tourists to get the fuck out of my gym. Because it's always so crammed after New Year's because everybody is like trying to get in shape. And I don't want to get sick. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna let people say, hey, new year, new me. And then they give up and then I can go down again and start working out. Okay, enough of this. Can't do this shit. Can't see. There we go. How you doing, by the way, everybody? We're gonna be talking. It's Elvis. Indeed, it's Elvis. Lamine, welcome, man. Pot game hurt him, so he has to wear glasses. I do have to wear glasses, but not because of pot. And I don't do that. New Year and same me eats a large pizza. Fuck yeah. The crazy thing is I've actually lost weight the past couple of months because I haven't been to the gym, interestingly enough. I wonder why that is. We have some Mass Effect news to talk about. Woo!
Nice.
We have news. Let's go. We're going to be talking about a little bit of news about Mass Effect and, you know, depending on if you guys want me to play Mass Effect again or if you just want to stand around theorizing like we normally do here every now and then, we can do that too. It's up to you guys. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of discussions here surrounding BioWare and their fate and Mass Effect as a franchise. We're going to get into that as well. And me, as always, I'm just going to be the, you know, the level-headed, clear-headed guy here. I am right, you guys are wrong. I'm kidding. Is it good news? Yes, but it has a twist, okay? So let's start here. So we got to talk about this news, okay? About Mass Effect. So, right off the get-go, we have Michael Gambel, the man, the myth, the legend himself. He just announced yesterday that they're looking for a very important senior leadership role and that they'll report to me, not me, but Michael Gambel, and that it's going to be awesome. And here, like, we're going to get into this. Let's check out this before we, like, read any of the comments and stuff like that. But let's check out this session. It has expired for some reason. The production, God damn it. The production, why isn't it working? There we go. Come on. No, back again. Stupid internet. Production director is what they're looking for here, okay? So let's take a look at this. So it's both good news, but it's also, you know, we'll get into it. So, Electronic Arts creates next-level entertainment experiences that inspire players and fans around the world. Here, everyone is part of the story, part of a community that connects across the globe, a place where creativity thrives, new perspectives are invited, and ideas matter, a team where everyone makes play happen. Since 1995, BioWare has been dedicated to creating games defined by rich storytelling, unforgettable characters, and expansive worlds. Over the years, the studio has earned recognition for developing some of the industry's most critically acclaimed titles. Today, BioWare is building on that legacy with the development of the next Mass Effect game, continuing one of the highest rated and most celebrated series in video game history. That part is not wrong. They're right about that part, at least. We're looking for a production director with a passion for the Mass Effect universe to serve as a high-impact leader on our Mass Effect title. You will partner closely with creative leadership studio teams and internal and external partners to champion the game's vision and ensure its execution at the highest quality. Bar, you bring a strong player first mindset. You bring a strong player first mindset, deep knowledge of the competitive gaming landscape, and a commitment to building inspired teams through mentorship, collaboration, and best-in-class production practices. You are driven to continuously elevate both the game and the team, fostering a strong production culture while translating ambitious ideas into outstanding player experiences. Okay, the production director will report to the executive producer, that being Michael Gamble, of course. Responsibilities act as a strategic bridge between creative intent and development execution, translating high-level vision into a clear direction that enables teams to deliver at AAA quality, provide leadership across the full development lifecycle, anticipating needs, setting execution direction, and ensuring teams are positioned to succeed at each phase, build and sustain strong coalitions across creative, technical, production, and partner teams, fostering alignment and shared ownership of outcomes. I know this is important, okay? Stick with me. Break down complex creative and technical goals into understandable, actionable components, ensuring teams understand both the why and how behind their work. Identify and mitigate risks early, drive resolution of cross-team challenges, and make informed trade-offs that protect quality, schedule, and long-time franchise health. Represent the project and production organization in communications with studio leadership, EA partners, and external stakeholders, including press as needed. Establish and reinforce clear objectives, transparency, and accountability across teams to maintain alignment and momentum. Where have we heard those words used before? I'll give you a spoiler here. It's been a thing that been using a lot when they're talking about Mass Effect in their BioWare blogs. 10 years plus of game development, as in qualifications, production experience, including senior level leadership on multiple large-scale AAA titles. You need to be a big boss. You need to be somebody who has skin in the game, who's been in the game for a long time. And you need the cred to, you need the proof to show it, right? Proven ownership on multiple games delivered from early concept through launch and live support, demonstrating strong leadership and accountability, deep expertise in ARPG, action RPG, and RPG development, including systems, content pipelines, player expectations, and competitive analysis. Very important. Led complex multidisciplinary organizations around a shared creative vision. Strong executive presence with an influence-based leadership style that builds trust, resolves ambiguity, and enables decision-making at scale. Experiencing partnering with external development teams, vendors, publishing, marketing, first-party partners, press, and lead initiatives around game showcases. A track record of mentoring senior production leaders, developing high-performance teams, and shaping production culture and best practices at the studio level. Essentially, you need to be the guy, just the guy, Chad, the developer. That's who you need to be here. Which is good. The funny thing about this entire announcement, though, is that I've been talking about Mass Effect for so long. I've been talking about this next game for so long now. And I didn't really start doing it until, 2021? And what I find so funny is, and most of you probably don't find this funny, but I don't know, I just find it funny. That the game was announced in 2020, December. It's now been, let's see, it's 2026. It's been more than 5 years since the game got announced, right? And we're just now hitting the production timeline. So, are they done with pre-production? And in case they are, how many years we're looking at? Probably 2 or 3. I would say probably 3. This actually puts us in the guesswork that Jeff Grubb actually talked about a while ago. I don't know how many years it was ago, but he essentially said that, it doesn't look like, from the people he had talked to who had seen the project, they were saying like, oh, it's not even close to finished. You know, it's probably going to be like a 2028, 2029 release, like the end of the 2020s, so closer to the 2030s. And I don't know, I just find it funny because it's like, you know, at the end of the trailer, it says Mass Effect will continue. It should have ended with, in 10 years. Because we're looking at possibly 10 years since the announcement of the game and it actually gets made. Whoa! I did not think that was gonna happen. I was like very, I thought that they wanted to get this out as soon as possible. I mean, using Unreal Engine 5 and things like that, you would assume that it's gonna speed up the process, but apparently they have, throughout this entire time, just been prototyping the game, testing it out. Laying the groundwork, putting up concept art, putting up the ideas, maybe the storyline, getting all that, in order. Now, it's just... Jeff Grubb was probably right. You guys remember that? Because he got a lot of flack for saying that when people were like, I'm not sure I trust him. Dude, he was pretty much spot on the money about this. Skyrim is 15 years and counting. BioWare need to work far less to catch up. Well, I mean, technically, Bethesda already... You mean Elder Scrolls? Well, yeah, true. But they have... Well, when did they announce the last the next Elder Scrolls game? What was that? Was that 2022? Dread from it, run from it, the Mass Effect Theory livestream arrives all the same. Exactly, Sam. So we can do that if you guys want to. Or the game. Depends. So, reactions to this, guys. I want to see what you guys have to say. What do you think? Roy King, it does not look like production hell. To tell you the truth, it looks like it's taking a long time to pre-produce. The first Mass Effect and Dragon Age Origins took a long time to pre-produce. Yes, but this is definitely longer. On the other hand, I would say that this does not necessitate production hell. I don't think so either. Because they really got to get... Like, you guys have to remember, the trilogy ended in a way where there are so many threads still in the air, like left hanging, that there's so many questions, so many unanswered or unresolved issues that they really do. Like, you really have to think about this. You have to really think this through before saying, oh, this is production hell. Because remember, I would not personally want to write a continuation to Mass Effect 3 because there's so many fucking things you have to get right. And from a purely logical perspective, okay, it's understandable that it's taking time because how do you figure everything out in a cohesive way, right? That said, though, 10 years? We also have to remember that why they announced the Mass Effect teaser trailer first and foremost is, like a lot of you have been saying all the time, they just needed funding. So maybe we're not going to see a lot of the same things we have seen in the teaser so far. Maybe. But essentially, they were trying to get the project out there so people know that there is some next Mass Effect coming so that they can start hiring people. And I think what this means, what this job description is this is kind of the start for when they're going to start hiring people again. And I know, they basically just laid a bunch of people off, but if they're closing in and they're starting to ramp things up, they're obviously going to need more people to get the game out. So this is the first step of that, and then they're going to start ramping up even more to get more and more people. And at some point in 2-3 years, we're gonna get the game. Hopefully. Hopefully. I've already seen a lot of people be like, but that, EA getting bought by Saudi Arabia thing. Oh boy. Oh boy. They could be further ahead and just needs extra hands. Maybe, but I think at this point we're probably... I don't want to disappoint you guys, because I know that there's a bunch of you who actually, specifically go, oh, but that's what he thinks of. So, look, I'm going to say this. I put your expectations at, 2030. At the latest, 2030. At least. I don't think this is going to be out next year, 2027. I don't think it's going to be out in 2028, not realistically speaking, when they're just now ramping up. Because they're also going to need a bunch of, alphas, betas, etc. And they're probably not, far. They're probably far from the alpha stage. Zeb, how you doing, man? Welcome. How you doing? How you doing? Lil's what? Game is pretty dead to me. Too much time wasted. I think EA get it rid of it like Ubisoft did a few days ago. Only question is when it will happen. You mean of BioWare? At this point, it's very hard to say. I don't think any... don't think anyone, realistically, is yeah, no, it's fine. I think everybody is a bit like you're walking on ice. You don't really know, because I think it's pretty much a sure thing that nothing is set in stone right now with everything that's happened. So I don't know. Megan Fox wants me. God damn that username. Remember Ali Hillis said she couldn't comment on recent Mass Effect projects. She said this during the Cast 2025 N7 day live stream. Just showed the new figures. Yeah, so, well, she has announced before. I think it was in 2020. Was it 2023, 2024, where it was announced that she was coming back? I thought it was 2023 when we first heard her voice in that relay footage. So, I mean, we know she's going to be Liara. She's going to be in the game. But yeah, she can't open her mouth on anything, because if she does, she, risks spoiling what the story is going to be about and things like that. It's going to be 2032. You know what? Normally, Killmonger, I would say, nah, not 2032. But at this point, I feel like you guys have earned at least me saying, yeah, I don't think it's likely, personally speaking. I guess it's more of a hopeful thing. I hope that doesn't happen. But I remember back in the day when you guys were saying, oh, it's going to be in 2035 or something. I was like, you guys are just fucking... Now we're just joking. But now it's you even got me going, But then, then again, we have a bunch of other games coming out. So, hey, we're going to be eating pretty good, hopefully. But yeah, it's I'm expecting at least 2029 at this point. I mean, gives me time to talk about the game. It's great for content creators. It's great for us, but it's not good. The gamer in me is fuck no, this isn't good. But the other part of me is but, if it releases in 2030, besides the hardcore audience, the casuals would have walked away from this game a long time ago. I think you have a point, Vulcan says, in that the longer it takes, and I'm not saying this because I want to stress BioWare and the people out that's working there, and Michael Gamble, and Mary DeMarle and whatever. It's I think there is a point to where nostalgia can only get so far, because when did Mass Effect Legendary Edition release? 2021. Say if the next Mass Effect comes out in 2029, that's 8 years. between Legendary Edition, which was a remaster, and the next game. Back in the day when the remaster came out, I was under the impression, right, because I think a lot of us were, that the next Mass Effect game is probably not far off then, because they want to cash in on the hype train, on people playing Legendary Edition, and it's that type of trilogy where you can play so many times and play it again and play it again, but it's not like factually, logically speaking, it's not a reality where you can play it over and over and over and over again. Like, most people can't really do that. They have to wait a while and then play through it again. And so up until like 8 years, 9 years, people are definitely gonna lose interest. I have a feeling that, but that's a feeling. Like, I'm just saying, personally speaking, don't take that as fact. But as far as I know, that has been a case. That has been the case for a lot of products. Is that people lose interest over time, and suddenly they start forgetting, or maybe not forgetting, but they start deprioritizing something, and suddenly something else takes the game's place. The real danger, and I hate to say this, because I do want games to be inspired by each other, so they can make equally good games or games that are like it, but if Archetype pulls off Exodus, we have the replacement right there. And I know a lot of you are gonna be like, no, I'm a steel hands Mass Effect fan. I would never. But a lot of people would. They probably wouldn't come back to Mass Effect because now they have their sci-fi RPG. Now they have their next franchise that they know they're gonna keep making games for. That's my assumption, at least. I don't think Exodus is going to be a one-time thing. In case it is successful, of course, it has to be successful. But if it is, there you go. There you go. 2035, I'll be in my 80s and won't bother. Really? Damn. 80s? Wanted squirrel. You're in your 70s? That's fucking cool. I love that. Man, I love hearing when people are like, maybe you were just joking, but if you're not, that is badass. I love hearing that I have people that are like 70, 80 years old on my channel. It's pretty crazy. At this point, I'll be a 50-year-old man playing Mass Effect 5 for the first time. Yeah, I'll be a 40-year-old man, I think. What am I now? I think I'm 33. I keep forgetting how old I am. I'm 34, right. When do you think the TV show will premiere? Oh, Draconite, good. He brought up the TV show. So, well, when do I think it's gonna come out? I mean, they did talk about it on the BioWare blog, about it being an original story. So it's not going to be about Shepard, right? It's going to be after the Reaper Wars. It's going to be like post-trilogy, so it's going to be a sequel to the story. They already know that, and I think a TV show is definitely faster to make than a game. So, at least these types of games that we have today, like cinematic masterpieces and stuff like that. So, yeah, the show is probably going to be out before. And because it's post-Reaper War, it's probably, as we've talked about before, it's probably going to be one of those things that is stuck in between 3 and the next game. So it's going to be like a segue, I think, right? I think it's going to be a segue into the next game. It's going to be the midpoint, right? So the plot we're going to see there, I'm guessing it's going to be like this connects, and that will keep us occupied until the next game. They make whole seasons in like 6 months or whatever. Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. So we're going to get the show, guys, before. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get the show. It's 2026 now. If the game comes out in 2029, I'm guessing the show is going to be out 2028, right? Because the Amazon God of War show, that's probably going to be like 2027, right? Because they've already casted Kratos, so that's not going to be long. Yeah, it will fill in. Yeah, I think it's probably going to fill in the gaps between Mass Effect 3 and Mass Effect 5. Yeah, for sure. Hasn't seen a decent. You haven't been. There hasn't been a decent video game TV show that's maintained interest beyond the first season. But Mass Effect will be awesome because. Because what? Snuggle My Soul. Isn't that what they did with the Dragon Age show? It was a gap filler between Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age Veilguard. You know, I covered Dragon Age for a little bit, but I'm the wrong guy to ask. I don't know. Did they say that? Maybe they did. But I'm guessing here because the difference, right? Okay, here's something I think is very important to keep in mind as well. Dragon Age is not really a direct continuation in every game. We all know that now, like relatively. It's not, you're not following the same protagonist in each game. It's not always exactly about the same threat. Well, at the end of the day, it was, but it felt different. It wasn't like stop the Reapers. It was stop the Blight, stop the Archdemon. Then it was stop Corypheus, and then it was stop Corypheus again. And so, like, these plot points, they only got, like, resolved in the final chapter. But for Mass Effect, it was always about the Reapers and the fight against Reapers between Shepard and the companions in the squad and the Reapers. There was always this, you know, that was the storyline about bringing the galaxy together. And so I think that is also like something you have to think about when it comes to like Veilguard and Dragon Age and how that worked out with the TV show, because Dragon Age they don't really follow exactly. So I would say that I think Mass Effect has probably a higher chance where the Mass Effect TV show actually follows post-Reaper War, because here's the thing, I think also the scale is so much bigger in Mass Effect as well. Like whatever the Reapers did, what Shepard did, that will affect the galaxy forever. It just will. Like the footprint Shepard made with the choices is too huge, so you have to reference it somehow, in some way, you know. So yeah, it will definitely, like, it's gonna be some form of connection. They can't just ignore that. That would be weird. Maybe the show will clarify the mysterious benefactor as the Shadow Broker. I don't know, man. I don't think it's the Shadow Broker, the mysterious benefactor. I don't know. Matriarch benefit. Wait, what? What are we talking about? Oh, is that what you're talking about? Venezia. Oh, it's going to be awesome because of Matriarch benefit. Constable Birch, welcome, my fellow friend from the land down under. Traveling in Nice. Oh, Jesus. That's cool. Hope you guys are having a good time over there. I would like to go to France one day. I can't believe Liara would be behind that. No, me neither. Me neither. Yes, but maybe they can pull everyone back with the new teasers on the run up to the release. Just look at the world went crazy when they start releasing the teaser for Mass Effect 5. Well, yeah. They're definitely going to do that. Pajamik, so Mass Effect team hired late level designer at the end of previous year, and now they're hiring a senior producer who will work under Mike Gamble. You know what that means? They're ready to finally leave pre-production. Yes, it means essentially that they are leaving pre-production finally. I remember I talked about that a couple of years ago because, as far as I understood it, they had already left pre-production, but they hadn't. So that's on me. That's me that fucked up. So yeah, they actually did now. Now they did. A couple of years later. Hopefully the Mass Effect TV show has its own Miranda. I want Yvonne Strahovski. I like her a lot. Just make it her. My bet it's the show will be to bring people back into the universe. Then a year later, the new game drops. Yeah, maybe. But I don't know. Like, I think it's. I mean, you may be right. You know, who knows? Maybe it releases in 2028. Maybe they just need 2 years to get the production done. But I think to give them leeway, I would still say 3 years from now. So Mass Effect show maybe 2028, you know, early 2028 maybe, and then a year and a half later, the next game comes out. Sorry for this dumb question, but what's the real difference between production and pre-production? Seriously? So pre-production, at least in terms of BioWare. Now, I'm not sure how it works for every studio, but pre-production for BioWare has, as far as I understood it, always been this, this slow ramping, which Mark Dara refers to as the BioWare magic. You can correct me on this if I'm wrong, but as far as I remember him saying in the video, he was saying it goes like this, you know, where they go very slowly, they go very, very, very slowly on the pre-production, and then they kind of snap and panic, and they have to get the game out, and then they go like this, you know, and they have to produce and really get everything into order, puzzle pieces, everything just it just becomes very chaotic, and they have to put every system together at like the last moment in a very short amount of time. So that is essentially the BioWare magic, or the long pre-production. And according to him, the best way to do it would be to go at a steady pace through production, and you have a production that scales upward in a methodical way, right? That you have planned out. And I think what we're seeing here, and what I hope here, because we don't really know yet how they're going to do this, because there is still a possibility that what Mark Dara said is what they're going to do. You know, they're going to go like, they've been very slow these past 5 years, and then they just go, wow, 1 year production, let's get the fuck out. You know, I hope that isn't the case, because that was his main complaint. One of his main complaints about working at BioWare was the BioWare magic. So hopefully, it actually does take 2 to 3 years, as much as that sucks to say, but I would prefer it if they actually took their time, get everything in order, put the puzzle pieces together, look at what works, look at what doesn't work, and, look at fan reception, look at the gamer culture, everything, and try to match expectations and everything like that. They have to really take their time, unfortunately. As much as I hate to say that, but they kind of have to. The hockey stick. Yes, exactly. It's like a hockey stick. That is the slow pre-production. So pre-production, and sorry for not saying exactly, what is pre-production? Pre-production is planning, putting the story in order, writing the story, writing the script, writing the characters, concept art, all the planning stages that you kind of sketch out. Like when an artist starts doing doodles to get an idea for what the thing is going to be, and then they start sketching, that's the next part. And after the sketching, they start drawing the lines, and then after they draw the lines, they start coloring that, and then they start shading and whatever. So they've been at the doodling and concepting phase these years. So yeah, not very far. As far as we know. Maybe they've done the different thing that Mark Dara complained about, where they have been steadily working and implementing graphics and mechanics and gameplay at the same time while putting the concept things in order, which to me sounds more natural, it sounds better, like a balanced way of producing. But that's essentially how it works. Snuggle my soul with the Prime. Thank you so much for the support. Enjoy the emojis. Thank you so much. Yeah, pre-production is planning most of the story, scaffolding, hiring people, figuring out processes. Yeah, it's the scaffolding. Exactly. It's the thing you have to stand on, to build the house, essentially. And that's what they have been making for now, the scaffolding. Or I guess laying the blueprint for the house that will be Mass Effect, the game. Yeah, they can't rush ME5, so it'll be 2032. I still think 2032 is too long, though. I think at that point it's like, yeah, okay, it's been 11 years of the Legendary Edition. That's a bit much. And with all the advancements in technology and things like that, and the fact that you can now mocap using just a camera, I don't think, or facial mocap, that is. I don't think that 2032 is really there, but I could be wrong. I mean, I thought it was going to be like 2027, but at this point it's like, yeah, no, that's probably not going to happen. The last streamer, sometimes the live says sub-only mode on, and it says I can't message unless I'm subbed for over 10 minutes, but I've been subbed for a while. Sorry about that. I don't know. That's YouTube. I blame YouTube. Sorry. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. Glad you're here, though. Geo, enough with this theories and useless talks. This isn't useless. We're having fun. What really matters is Liara or Tally. There's only one correct answer. Mr. Holt, then answer correctly. I would say Shepard. That is the correct answer. You know, I'm going to be the adult in the room. I'm going to be a real pro boyfriend, and I'm going to say, Linnea. That's the right answer. You got me there. How's it down to you? How's it down to you? God damn. I started a civil war. You started a civil war in chat, Geo. You can't do that. Yeah, with pre-production out of the way and using Unreal Engine, I think the alpha and beta stuff should go much faster. At least I hope. I hope so too. And we have seen signs that they're actively using Unreal, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what to think at this point. Lurking in the shadows for with the $2. Thank you so much. People still going to complain when it comes out? Yeah, but come on, guys. We have learned by now. Everybody will complain about everything with every release. Every time a video game releases now, it's always a discussion like, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And then there's another side that's like, no, this is good, this is good, this is good. I mean, that's just a fact of life, you know. Some of the most loved games, even Baldur's Gate 3, caught flack. It's just you know, it is just the extremes of the online world. And it's just, you know, you gotta tune that out. Like, you can't listen to everybody. If you're a reasonable person, if you have, you know, logical thinking, and you don't like to go overboard with everything, then, and you can see things from both sides, you know, if you're a well-adjusted individual, just fucking ignore it. It's like, who cares? My goals are beyond your understanding. Exactly. We're professional complainers. Comes with the hobby. That's a good thing to bring up, Crimson Deeds. That is quite funny. Gamers, for some reason, are extremely hilariously complainy. I've just learned throughout the years to not take it seriously. Like, unless it's something that is actually life-threatening, it's like, yeah, you know, it's just, yeah. That said, it's very important to listen. You know, if you actually do have critical feedback you want to give to a developer, or you have opinions that you think should be discussed, or you think an element didn't work with a game, then for all that it's worth, bring it up and talk about it. Just don't be a dick. You know, because a lot of creators, a lot of developers, a lot of studios sure, they can get pushback like we saw with Larian and the AI situation, and they will change their course. But a lot of the time, when studios get feedback, they just ignore the ones that are being assholes, and your feedback and your criticism just doesn't get through. That is something I've noticed a lot of the time. So just be respectful, and it'll work out. Sometimes these big waves of pushing back on something that might work, but not always. Drex with the $10. Thank you so much for the generous support. Thank you guys for being so generous. You're always welcome to, dono even more. It's been a while since we figured the Geth will be featured in the game. Now that you have had some time to think, what version of the ME3 ending is canon, or do they change an ending to fit? Did you have to ask that again? You haven't specifically asked that, I think, before, but I've been asked that many times. Let's see. What do I think, or what do I want? What do I think? Logically, again, just putting it out there, looking at because they had like a poll where they had essentially like broken down what most people picked and what they chose, what type of endings and whatever. And Destroy is the most popular ending. Perfect Destroy, that is. I think it was like a 40%, 45% or something of the player base who pick the Perfect Destroy ending most of the time. So if they had to pick one, it will obviously be that. Because that is the hardest one to get. It's the Perfect Destroy, where Shepard survives. So they would probably go with that. I think personally that it's easier to build a sequel off of Control, but I guess that's also kind of why I'm a Control fanboy, I want to control the Reapers, fuck yeah. Thanks, Crimson Deeds, couldn't have said it better, thank you. Hey, it's my birthday today, and I'm turning 22. Congrats, Orion Fox. Congrats on your birthday. 22. Yeah, damn, you're a youngling. You're a kid. I envy you. You have your entire life ahead. You have to play Mass Effect at least 100 times before you turn 34. Destroy is canon. Only blue ending could be true canon. Destroy is canon. I'm a simple man. Canonize Destroy and be done with it. Destroy is the right choice. Schrodinger's cat, they're all canon, and not until we see for ourselves. Crimson Deeds come in here with the genius big brain take. It is literally the Schrodinger's cat. They're all canon, and not until we see it for ourselves will the canon actually show itself. Or, well, will there actually be an actual canon? I don't know how that works. Talking about 2032, I think that if the new ME project will again be a trilogy, then the second game may get released then. Yeah, possibly, yeah. Because, by then they would have built the asset. Let's say the game comes out in 2029. I mean, yeah, they've basically built all the assets, everything that they need, but that kind of also depends on the industry, right? Because if everybody starts switching to another engine instead of like Unreal Engine 5 and starts using other assets and whatever, it depends on how troublesome this development is. If it's not troublesome and it's super smooth and they are having a super smooth ride, which, case in point, as far as I could tell from the Exodus devs, they told me that the process with Unreal Engine 5 for them has been super smooth and super easy. Relatively speaking, it's been super smooth. They love using it. So for them, it's amazing. But for the Mass Effect team, we don't know, because they've been stuck with Frostbite for so many years, and then they switched to Unreal, right? So, I don't know. Maybe. Between The Elder Scrolls 6 and Mass Effect 5, which one will come out first? Very good question, Sanric. Very good question. GTA 7, Half-Life 3. Half-Life 3. I love Half-Life. I played the first game to death, the second game to death. I remember playing with one of my friends constantly, Half-Life 2. But the thing is, I don't think Half-Life 3 is real. I'm sorry. I don't think that's happening. I don't think they're going to do it, because the mystery is, will Half-Life 3 happen? And that keeps the discussion alive. You know, Valve loves people talking about their company. I think it's one of those ingredients. As soon as they release Half-Life 3, people are going to be like, oh, so, okay, we got it. That's it, you know. I don't think it's going to happen. Pymic with the Chech 100. Not sure what that is, but thank you so much. Appreciate it. One thing that makes me hopeful about ME5 despite its long pre-production phase is the fact that no one from the lead devs left the project, which is the opposite of Dragon Age Velguard, Anthem, and Mass Effect Andromeda. So there is hope. Good point. Nobody is actually left yet. So, as far as I know, I haven't seen anyone leaving. So, yeah. And let's not forget, guys. Now, I know you might be going, oh, but that is copium. I don't think this is copium. Let's remember some of the folks involved, right? Still have Michael Gamble, the top head, but then we have, again, Mary DeMarle, man. Mary DeMarle. Michael Tucker, listen from the screenplay. We got a bunch of the older devs from the first Mass Effect and the second Mass Effect games. They're back too. Guys, they got a vet team. They got a veteran team. And they got some good people there that know what the fuck they're doing. So, I mean, I can't promise it'll be great, you know. Maybe it will be one of those whoops, you know. And I think the biggest concern of all right now is, will they survive until then? That is the ultimate question. Also, how much are people willing to tolerate with the new ownership, right? Because that is also a point of discussion. I don't think generally most gamers will give a shit if the game is good, but I have seen a fair amount of people being like, yeah, no, I can't play these games, you know. The games now, but not the new game that comes out, you know. So, yeah, they're in a pickle. They're in a pickle, man. They can't risk it. What if Half-Life 3 is bad? Just the thought. I have no stake in it. That is a point as well, you know. The Half-Life 3 discussion lives rent-free in a lot of us, I would say, older gamers' heads. People who are fans of Half-Life 1 and 2. And so it's like, you know, we had Half-Life Alyx, of course, but it's not Half-Life 3, so. Don't even speak that into existence. Yeah, I should, because one thing I have noticed is I shouldn't jinx, because I have a magical ability to jinx things into existence. So I'm going to try to stop doing that, because whenever I say, oh yeah, the game is definitely releasing in 2027, oh, it just entered production. Well, that's like 2-3 more years. Things like that happen all the time. It sucks. I have the magical ability to to push things away. To be like, oh, okay, this is going to be the, you know. I'm usually right on other things, but when it comes to stuff like that, it's like, fuck. My predictions, they're completely off. Can you jinx AI out of existence, lol? Okay, we can do it like this. Okay, I will try. I really hope AI becomes the #1 tool in the world and that everybody uses AI every day. See? Jinxed it. We'll see. Now we'll see what happens. In case you didn't understand that I just said I was being sarcastic. Did I just jinx it back again? I don't know. How does that work? And bam. No, it doesn't work like that. It's the opposite. Whenever I say something, it's the opposite. the opposite becomes the reality. So if I say, oh, I wish AI becomes the #1 used tool in the world. It's gonna drop and become the least used, right? See, now I back jinxed it. Shit. Yeah, I broke my curse. I broke it. I leveled it, so now it's like it just evens out. You know, it just cancels out. So it's whatever. It's whatever. It's fine. And just like that, I'm unemployed. Sorry, bro. I tried. If they make it perfect destroy canon, I would still like for them to make a DLC of the other endings. Otherwise, the people's choices never made a difference. What do you think? So I get you, but I also think that's too high a level to reach for. Again, like they're a relatively small studio now, and I don't think that that's. I just don't think that's realistic in terms of what they can do. They could probably do it if you gave them 15 years. If you gave them 10 years in full production, you know, if we gave them 10 additional years from today until like 2036, then maybe they could do that, but they're not going to do that. Shit, I just jinxed it again. God damn it. Just because of that, that's going to happen now. Geo, I'm waiting so bad for the AI bubble to burst. I'm so tired of companies shoving AI on everything. Also, they don't play games or watch movies. Skynet, the Reapers, hello. The thing is, AI that we know of as today is not actually AI, really. I think it's a bad word, really, to use for this type of technology because it's not really intelligent in that way. It's generative, like it's a prompt machine. So, or a prompt program. So I would say I don't think Reaper and Skynet is likely. You don't have to worry about that. But we've already, I don't know if you guys have seen, but there's already been huge reports about AI just not making a return. You know, it's too costly. And even Google's own CEO, Satya Nadella, just said recently that if they don't find a useful way to, or like a way to turn it around for the public, you know, in a like make AI really like this thing where you have to have it because it's so useful, then it's just not going to be worth it at the end of the day because it seems like they haven't found that yet. So, you know, you never know. That's Microsoft, not CEO. Not Google's. Okay, thanks for the correction. Yeah, the Microsoft CEO. Yeah, they're bleeding money. They are bleeding money. For sure. Yeah, it's closer. Xanthras is closer to a VI from Mass Effect, but it's not even that. No. It's closer to a VI. Yes, for sure. A virtual intelligence. I would like a virtual intelligence, you know, an actual like virtual pop-up like you see in like Mass Effect and other shows and stuff, like that just pops up and talks to you. That would be pretty badass. But it's like, yeah, it has to be a useful assistant somehow. AI bubble will burst, no doubt there. I think it's kind of already burst because I think it's not going to be like this, oh, it's just pop. It's more going to be like a gradual downward curve. You know, it slowly goes down because people realize that it's just not as useful as we thought it would be. But it's like this, you know, it's a sad fart. Me. I'm just saying that's the situation as it looks like. But then again, you know, I'm not really into the whole AI discussion thing. I think it gets tiring, you know. It's like a lot of shit on the internet. It's like, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Very first ever created VI was Clippy on Microsoft Word. Kind of. But again, I would say that a virtual intelligence like in Mass Effect, they're probably still pretty intelligent in terms of like usefulness. But Clippy was pretty useful. Clippy was pretty useful. Um, Clippy was the goat. There's a lot of money, though. Nobody will let it just deflate. Propping it up will no longer be... propping it up till no longer possible. I think that's pretty realistic way to look at it, yeah. Until it's like, okay, it's, you know, it costs too much money. It's not as useful. You don't make the return on it. And apparently, like, that is the case. So, hey, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. Will they make new classes and character backgrounds for the first, or for the Mass Effect 5, or will they go the MEA route again? Hopefully, new classes and character backgrounds. I personally am old school in that way. I don't want every single thing on, you know, my Shepard or my Rider. I would prefer it if they take a step back, and it's the same thing with the Paragon Renegade system. And while I am excited for Fable, right, when I saw the trailer, when I saw that they are not gonna use like the binary good and evil system, I kind of deflated a little bit, because I really love that function of essentially morphing based on your behavior. I really love that with the Fable games, man. And I know that, objectively speaking, there's a lot of gray areas in everything, right? If you're a scientific person, you know that there is gray sides to a lot, you know. You start realizing that the world is not just purely blue and red, but it is a video game. You could still play a neutral guy in Fable. You didn't have to be evil, and you didn't have to be purely good either. You could just go the neutral Shepard route, right? You don't have to morph if you're one of those people that just, you know, if you do some good stuff and some things that are questionable, but you're still just pretty much the same, I think that's a cool way to go about it. But if you'd like really go hard in on like being a complete asshole, a monster, like absolutely evil, I think there should be some form of not bonus, but maybe you could say like a punishment. But then again, I think Mass Effect 2 did it pretty well in that you can actually operate and just surgically remove the scars on Shepard, so you don't have the weird glowy eyes, right? So I don't know. Did I go off on a tangent there? Essentially what I'm trying to say is I want them to go back to the binary way of choosing things. I think that's just more fun. I want to return to old school, specifically the alignment systems. I think worked really well because they're simple. Baldur's Gate has one of these systems where you're perceived more and more monstrously depending on how monstrous you are, especially if you're playing like as a dirge, right? A dark urge. Or if you're this goody two-shoes that's always just nice and kind and caring, people start perceiving you that way. Your companions start perceiving you that way. It's like, you know. But then again, wait, no, Baldur's Gate also has that, you know, in the form of where if you start taking the worms, you get a transformation that changes how you look. I also like that. I like that. Hey, I have a question about what is your favorite mission of each Mass Effect from the trilogy? From Mass Effect 1 for me is Ilos, for Mass Effect 2 it's Suicide Mission, from 3 it's Priority Earth. I would say for the first game, I don't know, Vermeer sticks out in my head a lot, specifically because that's when you make the Caden and Ashley choice. And because, you know, of the Rex standoff. But the best, I don't really have a best there, but I would say that that's probably the most memorable, mostly, out of most of them. For Mass Effect 2, I would say Lair of the Shadow Broker, all the missions. For sure. Mass Effect 3, it's probably Thessia. I love Thessia because not only when you bring Javik does he fucking just yap about everything and comment on everything and make life miserable for Liara. As much as I love Liara, I just love the way he's just waterboarding her with information. But also, you know that moment when you're walking through a broken down Thessia and that Reaper walks above you? I just, that sticks out so much in my head. It's like, that's so badass. It's just like, bonk. Just starts doing the horn, brrr. That is, that was amazing. Dude, I hated Kai Lang, though. Kai Lang, that's the worst part. It's funny because that is one of the best missions in my opinion, but it's also mixed in with one of the worst elements of Mass Effect, and that is Kai Lang. Bitch Kai Lang, like Kai bitch Lang. Yeah. I do hope so. Let's see here. Did I miss something? Yeah, I think I missed something. Yeah, Kai Lang was ass. Plot carried his ass for sure. Yeah, he was the most forced, irritating element, I think, of Mass Effect 3. Priority to Chanka is for me because of that. Good one, Nick. That would be the Reaper versus Thresher Maw. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah. For sure. Absolutely. That one is probably the secondary. I mean, all of the big battle sequences in Mass Effect 3 where you're like, where you're helping the planets. You have Tuchanka, you have Palaven, or well, the moon of Palaven. And you're helping out the Turians, and you see all the Reapers walking around shooting and blasting, and then you have, like, of course, Thessia and the invasion there. I don't know. Those are so good. Who was worse, Jacob or Kai Lang? Dude, that's a great question. Brody, man. Let's go with this. Let's go with this. Where is it? So, for guys over on Twitch, we're doing a poll on YouTube to see who people think is worse. Is it Jacob or is it Kai Lang? Oh, why you do that? I hate them both. Yeah, but who is more hateable, though? Who is more annoying? Snuggle my soul, Jacob, hands down, because he was present more often. Rex, the worst thing about Kai that not many even understand is how big a character he is between the books. He is, for sure. If they put more content in for Anderson's backstory, he made absolute sense. Yeah. Wambambula, well, Jacob is just an ass in ME2, but in ME3 I really hate him. Yeah. Okay, so it's looking like on YouTube at least, it's Kai Lang has 59% lead. Jacob is at 41. Kai Lang worse because we lost Thane. Good point. Yeah, he actually kills your squad mates. So, yeah. Lurking in shadows, I like both of them. Dude, you coming in here with the hottest takes. You gotta be trolling. He's definitely trolling. Jacob is bad, but Kai Lang is a completely different shade of brown. Oh, damn. Spicy. Thane would have died anyway. Think about this. Jacob is a cheater. Well, damn. He's rage baiting? Yeah. Obviously, too. Which is, that's okay. If you're being obvious about it, Or if you're gonna rage bait, at least be obvious that you're rage baiting, which is good. Okay, so 56%. Kai Lang. I guess Kai Lang is the worst, so Jacob is actually not terrible then. Seems like you guys like Jacob. I see. I see where my community is at. I'm gonna start saying that from now on. My community likes Jacob. Kai Lang is someone you don't like, though. Very interesting. Very interesting. I like that the percentage for Jacob just went up a little bit when I said that. Jacob is legit just whatever. He's an alright character at best. He's pretty whatever. Like, to be completely honest, to not be like, oh, he's the worst character in the world. He's pretty whatever. It's more like what he does in 3 that pisses people off. He's pretty boring in 2, but in 3 it's like, oh, you backstabbing piece of shit, you know? So for all the femships out there, rip. Kai is terrible enough to mod him out of my game. Exactly. You guys remember that mod I talked about on that video a while ago? It's funny because people still watch that video. It's pretty funny. The biggest question, who is going to be the next romance options? Imagine having a Krogan. Certain fans would love that. Simple, lazy gaming. I don't know about Krogan romances, but I mean, they could always just take the Larian route and let you fuck everybody. So, I mean, that actually brings me to something that I've talked about before. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but one thing in today's gaming discourse that I've noticed is you want to really market your game through your community, but for your community or for a community to be formed around your game or to grow bigger, you need something that's brings a positive image for your game, but that is also big, if not revolutionary. So let's look at Veilguard, okay? Now, I'm not doing this to trash on Veilguard specifically, but we have to look at why it failed in many ways. And there are various reasons, of course, to the entire thing. It's just that nothing really, like, the whole centerpiece of Veilguard, whenever you were talking about Veilguard, it wasn't, for example, compared to something like Baldur's Gate 3, where you talked about everything that you can do. You know, that bear clip scene was very important, specifically because it became like a cultural, like, black hole. It like sucked in attention because it's like, what? You can do what? And it proved to be true. You could do so many things, and that carried the game. Veilguard had really nothing where you were like, oh, that's so insanely cool, let's grab onto that, you know? It really had nothing like that. And so, aside from all the other bullshit around the game, of course, but Mass Effect, I feel, needs to up their game. Like, BioWare needs to... Michael Gamble, if you guys are listening, you need to up your game. Like, there needs to be something that makes people go, holy shit, right? Example. Exodus, right? I know a lot of people are still, like, skeptical about Exodus. Trust me, I get it. I don't even know that much. Like, I haven't really seen the game myself either. I've seen as much as you guys. But the point with Exodus is, okay, listen, time dilation. We've never had that in a game. Time dilation. You've seen Interstellar? You've seen Interstellar. Fucking insane concept, but it's real. It's a real physical phenomena that happens when you're traveling closer to the speed of light. And so when you start thinking about that, you're like, holy shit, that could mean so many things, and they're trying to prop it up at Archetype. Like, this is huge. This is amazing. We love it at the studio. What we need, for example, for Exodus to be like, to blow up, is to show it. Like, this is the consequence of your choice. And this is so many of the things that can happen. Like, show us in gameplay so we can, like, make the idea for ourselves. Like, we can come up with that, make our own conclusion. And that's essentially what I think the thing that they own, like, the only thing that they need to do is to show that off. Mass Effect needs something, maybe not time dilation, but something, an element that makes everybody go, holy shit. Speaking of which, I would like to know from you guys, what do you think would be a holy shit element that Mass Effect could use to bring so many new people in, but also make every old fan go, fuck yeah, I am back, What would that be? I need you to tell me. Do you have any good ideas? Because I think a lot of AAA games nowadays, they just need something like that. Not even AAA. I mean, Expedition 33 had an intro that fucking killed you emotionally. Expedition 33 has such a high deliverance on emotional, it just punches you in the fucking nuts in the first minutes. Not many games do that, right? It's a work of art, and that's what they do. Like, it's such a wow, So we need something wow, right? Shepard coming back, that's a little too simple, I think. And I don't know. I don't think that's set in stone. I mean, yes, it would probably one of those types of elements, but I'm thinking something new, right? Not attached to Shepard. Midori Dad, being able to play as any of the discovered races would be my holy shit moment. Actually, not a bad point to bring up. Being able to play as not only just humans, but Asari, Krogan, Salarian, all of the humanoid races, I would say. Turians, Batarians, maybe. That would be a holy shit moment. Yes, that would be. You can play an alien. Holy fuck. Absolutely. But it wouldn't be the holy shit moment. There has to be others. Playing as an unknown character for the first 4 hours of the game before a big reveal. Kojima, cuff, cuff. Well, again, it's still kind of obvious, and it's not something that makes you go, I did not expect this from a Mass Effect game. That's what I'm thinking, right? Something that makes people go, oh, I did not expect that. Wow. Top of my head, something to mirror Element Zero and call it Element Chronos. Oh, you mean something that has to do with time. So time controlling capabilities, things like that. Being the bad guy, interesting, Simple Lazy Gaming. How about your choices change the story? Oh, your choices change the story, like actually change the story. Well, that would be ambitious as all hell for a cinematic AAA game like Mass Effect, but I would take it. Imagine them... Okay, so not so you guys misunderstand here. It's not that your choices matter, because they do in Mass Effect, but your choices change the story. So you pick point A, and the game just changes drastically. Like, get different missions, you get a different end games, you meet other characters. You choose path B, you meet different characters again, a different pathway, a different mission, different missions that lead to something else down the line. Oh, But that would be very ambitious. Jesus, that would be huge. But that would be pretty cool. Do not mess with time, please. Yeah, we already have Exodus with that, but that's just forward in time, so you can't go backwards. Yeah, I would like a Mass Effect game where you could actively choose to join the bad guy faction and the story drastically changes. That could be really cool, Elementus, yeah. For sure. A little bit like the Old Republic, right? That feature would surely make it a 2035 release. Yeah, probably. Why not play as the bad guy, but until the middle of the game you think you are the good guy? That would be cool. That would be a really cool holy shit story moment, you know, where you realize, oh, are we the bad guys? Oh, whoops. Time shenanigans are so hard to pull off. Yes. Unless it has to do with time dilation, which is essentially just that, you know, you go forward in time very, very fast, which is the real thing. Yeah, when you start traveling backwards in time and things like that, that kind of takes people out for sure. KOTOR memories, oh hell yeah. Like I said, follow the BG3 example with most things. Dialogue, romance, choices, builds, etc. and add what makes Mass Effect unique. And I am sure BioWare will win big time. Better yet, make CRPG Mass Effect game. Maybe not CRPG, but yeah, a D&D type Mass Effect game where your choices really have been like upped. Yeah, like the Larian level. Just go full on. Wow, you know, you can do so many things. And don't hold back. Don't hold back. That's something I think is incredibly important for a mature game like this. Don't hold back on the rating. 17 or whatever it is, like 18 plus, let's go. Let's go. We don't want to go back to PG or anything like that. Mass Effect has never been PG, but I'm just saying we don't want, because we know that their latest release, well, was it even PG? What was it? Was it rated R? I don't remember. But truly make it rated R. Baldur's Gate did. What about traveling to alternate realities? Oof, again, that's a story element that could maybe be cool. But I'm thinking about like a huge, unexpected, wow, you can do this thing, right? That is not confusing, but it's just huge in terms of that you can do something, right? And you realize you're the bad guy by crossing paths with Shepard and had a player character change like with Kratos and Loki. Yeah, you want Shepard to appear in some manner? I think a lot of people do. I know a lot of people do. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Imagine ME5 and FOTAR within the same year a real possibility. It absolutely is, yeah, for sure, because they just started production on that, right? Or pre-production, I guess, on Fate of the Old Republic. So that, I think, would give it like maybe a 5 or 6 year cycle. Maybe, no, he said it's going to be out before 2030. Right, Casey Hudson said Fate of the Old Republic is going to be out before 2030. So, yeah, it could possibly release in the same year as Mass Effect, absolutely. The year of the sci-fi, technically. Is Star Wars sci-fi? I never really thought about it like that. I always thought about Star Wars as a fantasy story. It's not so much sci-fi to me, kind of. It has spaceships, it has space, but it's more space magic. But then Mass Effect also has space magic, so I guess in a way. I'll be 30 in 2030. Oh, nice. Well, that's 4 years. You still have some time to go. I feel like the only modern game that pulled off time travel and realities was Quantum Break. Devs today mostly suck at it, sadly. I think, yeah, time travel specifically, you know, when you move backwards in time, yeah, I think that's really hard to pull off. And seldom is it very interesting to me. I prefer when you do Just, go forward. If you have to do time travel, like Exodus is doing, just go forward. You can't go back. I think that's the easy way to do it, because then you don't have to confuse people. It always bothered me that Renegade Shepherd couldn't be pro Cerberus. You can't, can you? You can't really be pro Cerberus. Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's a lot of stuff I would like to see in the next Mass Effect game for sure. Being able to play as an evil person, even if I'm not gonna play evil myself, that's a big thing. Like I really want to see something like that in Mass Effect. What did you miss, Eric Andrew? Well, we've just been chatting here, talking about Mass Effect, talking about the news that it's in production right now. It's in production for sure. Maybe I should show you just a little quick showy here. Just a moment. There we go. So essentially what this means, this ad, I guess, or job ad, is that they're looking for somebody to start the production for real, a boss. I want to see deeper gunning power customization, maybe return to Mass Effect 1 inventory style. Yeah, why not? You can't change the past in Quantum Break. So it's essentially, so it actually feels like you're moving forward all the time, if you know what I mean. Okay. Huh. I gotta play that. Isn't that the one with the guy from Lost or whatever? I don't remember his name. Lurking in Shadow was $2. Thank you so much for the support again. I am no troll. I like what I like. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. Wait, what did we say before? There was something you mentioned that seemed awfully trolly. But hey, if you like what you like, you like what you like. Madman, it's controversial. How dare you have an opinion? No, that's fine. You do you. Thank you for the $2, by the way. I would love to start with Shepard. Yeah, right. You liked both Kai and Jacob. Yeah, that was the controversial statement. Right. I will start with Shepard spending time with her friend or family in the intro before everything goes wrong for the big drama. Maybe switch character after that, but would negate most ME3 endings. Unfortunately, probably, yeah. He's a Jacob and Kailang fan. Yeah. Well, I trust you. If you like those characters, then you do. That's fine. What if you have two paths to take? Start as the bad guy and choose to continue to be the that guy, or change your path to be good, or is that too Star Warsy? No, I mean, Mass Effect was inspired by Star Wars, so why not? That could work. I would love to see a Mass Effect game where you could actually start choosing your alignment in a way, where you actually start doing it sort of like Star Wars. That could be cool, because I do like the alignment of being a dark side or a light side user. You could always stay in the middle area if you want to, but I just think that's simple and it's effective, and it doesn't make anyone confused to what is what is this alignment or this alignment. All the choices we made in the trilogy carry over into the next game. Doubt it could happen. Yeah, that's one of those things I wish we could see, but I don't know. It's almost, yeah, it's very ambitious. Could probably be done given time and resources. Did you watch complete Expanse series or For All Mankind? I haven't seen the final season of Expanse, I think. Not yet. But I will. In KOTOR, you can really go heavy for Sith side, and Bastila also joins us eventually. Right, yeah. Maybe start with a D&D alignment style. What if your background decides it, and as you progress, it changes through choices? Yeah, I like it. A more impactful background would be nice if you don't play a Shepard. That could be cool as well. Yeah. But I actually prefer when you don't have too much, with your background, so you can build your own character, your own background, your own destiny. I prefer that, but yeah, more varied backgrounds could for sure be a little bit more interesting. Hopefully it's not just flavor stuff like at the beginning of Cyberpunk, you know, depending on if you go corpo or if you go street kid or whatever, because that was a little, you know, there are some elements in the game where it still sticks, but generally speaking, it doesn't really affect much. Fizo Duck, how about you hunt down the masked dude, which is Shepard controlled by the Leviathans? They want to take control of the galaxy again, and because of the Mass Effect relays destroyed, they undermined other factions, and in the end, you have an all-out war. I like that. That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. Dang, I'm too late. Don't worry about it. You have an entire stream to watch through in case you want to. I want Jen Hale back. She was so good. Jen and Mark. Don't forget Mark. We need both of them back. If one is coming back, both of them is coming back for sure. Yeah. Seems like they haven't gotten the call yet, though, apparently, according to them. You never know. Again, guys, I think I gotta be off for today. I think 1.5 hours does it for today because my throat is starting to give out. Also need to start getting, you know, work on an edited video that I'm working on. So yeah, I gotta get that done as soon as I can. But thank you for checking out the stream as always. And yeah, have a nice weekend because it's Friday today. Take care. Wink, wink, no call. Right, wink, wink. That's, you know, that's my feeling too. You know, who knows? Maybe they have gotten the call. Yeah, take care, guys. I'll see you next time, Monday. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's the stream schedule for now. So, hey, take care, guys. Bye-bye. Thank you for the donos.